Hello, welcome to Take Two Tuesday. I think we are maybe working here. Let's see. It looks a little bit out of focus, so let's try to fix that. Sorry. Hi, how is everybody today? Tuesday. Let's see. That's better. I think we're okay now. Great. Welcome to all of you. Ken here at the Stamps of Life. Tuesday, what day are we? The 18th, right? November 18th. We're about a week away from Thanksgiving. So a early happy Thanksgiving to all of you. We're almost there. Let's see who is checking in with us today to say hi. What episode is this? 96. We are on number 96 on our way to 100. Hi, Veer in cloudy Missouri. It's been raining and cloudy out here. I don't know if you guys have heard the weather reports. So they act like we're all getting flooded out here and we're not going to survive, but don't let that get you discouraged. We're doing just fine. A lot of rain, which we need, but we're just not in Southern California. We're just not used to rain. We're wimpy, but we will survive and it's good. We need it. So it is cool today, kind of cloudy. It did rain some more this morning. I didn't think it was going to. Yesterday, it rained in a lot of places around us, but here where we were doing the card kit yesterday, did not rain. I was so thankful. I thank God. Thank you, God, because it just makes it so much harder when we pack the card kit outside, and when it's rainy, not good. So we dodged a bullet yesterday, so that was great. So I said, Veer, hi, and Sylvie, hi to myself, the Stamps of Life there. Shelby, hi, Gloria, Diane, Karen. We got two Karens, a Karen N and a Karen Middleton. Interesting. Dawn, C. Sterling, hi. Barbara, Frank and Sharon, Janet, Tina. Welcome, all of you. We're going to have some fun today. We have a card base to look at. We have a combination of stamps and dies to look at. I think they are both from about 4 or 5 years ago, so we're going back a little bit in time. But we will have some fun. We are going to do some fun facts about, well, I'll keep that a secret. And then later in the program, we will have a game quiz that's based on, let me make sure I have this, movie trivia. And I used to watch movies a lot, like in the 80s, 90s, but I have kind of gotten away from them. So I don't know what era these questions will be from, but I will definitely need your help. So hopefully you guys are good at movies. We'll have some fun. We'll do that. We will end up with our good news, our devotional. At the end, we're reading Psalm 56, a psalm by David. David wrote a lot of the psalms, and this is a good one. So hang on for that. We'll have fun. Make sure you grab your Bible, okay? Psalm 56 is good just to get in the practice of doing it. So that we'll spend some time together. We'll do all those things. We'll do a little bit die cutting. I'll show you I have a lot of great card samples to share with you from the Stamps of Life design team. So that is all fun. Now, this is just to get things going here. I have a question for you. You have to answer since you join me. That means you want to be here, so you've got to participate, okay? Participation is important. I don't always get to follow the chat because like I'm doing stuff and trying to operate things and all that kind of stuff. So anytime you want to jump in, add a comment in the chat, I appreciate it. But my question for you is, if you could choose, this is a, how would I say, okay, one of those, would you rather? So would you rather be, here we go, would you rather be invisible or be able to read people's minds? And then tell us why. Would you rather be invisible or be able to read people's minds? Invisible or be able to read people's minds? Tell us in the chat. This is just for fun. And then if you're joining later, this question or any of the questions we ask, you can answer, and that's down in the comment section below. You won't be able to post live with us, but if you're watching live, jump in the chat and answer those questions. Makes it a little bit of fun. So would you rather be invisible or be able to read people's minds? And I was thinking about that. So if I'm invisible, they wouldn't know I was there, and then I could really know what was going on. So I think I was picking that. But if they could see me, maybe they wouldn't, I don't know, go as crazy in their minds. I don't know. Neither one of them is that good, right? It can be weird. But what would you rather, be invisible or be able to read people's minds? That's tough. We might see a lot of things we don't want to see, or know a lot of things we don't want to know. That's probably what would happen. Hopefully there's some good things in people's minds, and some other people are doing some good things. And hopefully if it was turned around, people would find out about us too, the same, that there would be some good things going in our brains, on our thoughts, or they would see us doing some good things if they were invisible. So I guess if you turn it around, it's kind of risky, huh? Either way. Kind of risky. Yeah. Vera said neither. Yep. Gloria said read minds. Everybody jump in. Okay. Shelby says invisible. Sylvie says, I would rather be invisible to see what my family and friends think about me. Yeah. Oh yeah. When we're not around, huh? Dawn says invisible. Diane says invisible. It'd be like a fly on the wall. And Kathy says read people's minds so I can know how to respond to them. Ooh, that's a good reason. And Karen says read minds. Yeah. It could go really good or it could go really bad, either way when you think about it. So it's probably best that we can't do those things, huh? It's probably best. Like some of the time, it's just better not to know, right? Wouldn't you say? Some of the time, it's just better not to know. So let's see what is new. So I did say I shipped the card kit yesterday. So let me show you real quick. Our new card kit is here. Maria was packing these like crazy the last few days, and the big truck came by and the pallets went out. That was all yesterday. We got them all shipped out. And then we did get some new signups too. All right. So welcome to all of you. Now, if you do want to join, we sold out last month, right at the end of the month. I see the stack is gone. So I suspect this one could sell out. I do have some extras right now, though, if you want to join the club. This is a great way to get into making cards if you're brand new to paper crafting. Like everything's in here. All you kind of need is really scissors and some glue. And you can start making cards just with what's in here. Now, of course, if you have a die machine or you have card bases already, great. That makes it even better. But this one really does come with a card base. This nice. Let me show you some of the items that are in here so you see what you get. This will just take a second. But these were shipped yesterday. The kit is called So Thoughtful. Oh, again, my name's Ken. I'm here at the Stamps of Life. We do this episode once a week called Take Two Tuesday. And we just kind of hang out and have some fun together. We craft a little bit, talk about card making, and we chit chat and do just a little bit here and there. So just a fun time to get together. And so if you're new, welcome. If you're new, let us know too in the chat. Some of the time I know there's people there probably watching that we don't know you're watching, but let us know. And for all of you who join me every week, I really appreciate it. So welcome to Take Two Tuesday. And what we do, we go back in time. We look at items here from the Stamps of Life that you can use for making cards or scrapbooking pages. And some of them are 4 to 5 years old. Sometimes we get something way older and sometimes a little bit newer, but there are items that are from the past that maybe you haven't seen yet if you're new to the Stamps Life. And if you've been around with us for a little bit, you might have them already. So this is a good refresher for you. So that's what we do. So let me switch cameras here and I'll show you what's in the new card kit. Well, of course, you get that box up there. All right. And there is that card base, A1 grand side folded die set. That is included. That is included. So if you have a die cutting machine or you have a friend who has one, ooh, let me get rid of my name here. If you have a friend, you could use their machine, crank out a bunch of cards, and you could leave some card bases for them. And then you can get a bunch made for yourself if you don't have a machine. If you do, then you know how to use these. They're super easy, super simple. It cuts, scores for you, all that kind of stuff, all right? All that kind of stuff. Let me get it. I do have a different banner since we are talking about this. Where is my... there it is. So thoughtful card kit. And so it has that nice base. You do get some, I won't show you what they are, but freebies from me, 2 of them. You get your idea card. Whoop. You get some cool stickers that coordinates with our all bundled up stamps and dies from this month. So that's included. Get epoxy stickers as well with some sentiments on it. These fancy bows. They're nice, velvety. And then some red polka dots. Boop. You see those? Nice. Ribbon. And of course, you get your card stock. Oh, did I lose a light? I lost a light. Hopefully it comes back on. Word dies. That says So Thoughtful in there. And I'm going to have to check on that light in just a second, but we'll keep... Oh, it came back on. So let's see. So there's your paper pad as well. Double-sided. What is this? by 6.5, I think, is our size. So just perfect for your card making. It's nice to have these ready to go, guys, just like that. You can add to your cards, and lots of nice backgrounds, lots of fun patterns. So that's all in the card kit, okay? So you can check that out. You can sign up. We can ship it out to you. If you order it today, it would go out probably tomorrow or Thursday. Faylene is not in the office today. So I do have a bunch to be shipped out, but there will be just a 1 or 2 day delay for you there. But once you join the club, you become a club member. You get a club discount whenever you shop on our website, like 15% off. If you're in just one club, if you get multiple clubs, you do get a little more. I think you save 20%. And then you start earning club points. And there will be, and I wanted you to know, in the upcoming December kits, Stephanie has freebies for you guys. Each one of the kits this upcoming month is going to have a freebie from Stephanie added to it. So look forward to that. That means the Fold It Club, yep. Stamp and Die Club, Die Hard Club, Stamp Club, Die Club, Die Hard Club. Those are the kind of the same. And then the card kit. So that is something extra special to look for. I know it's one you guys are going to like. We've done something similar to this in the past. And so Stephanie has added freebies for all of you because she wants to say thank you for being in the club. And we appreciate all of you club members. You're great. What else is new? So that was the card kit. Big deal. Later in this week, we have what's coming up. Does anybody know? Oh, also, you can see that. I always get this backwards. That right there, that QR code, that will get you to the Stamps of Life website. So if you're new to us, just have your phone, like focus in on that. It'll give you a link and you click on it and it'll take you right to the Stamps of Life website. All right, so that's what that is. And let's see, I need to add my little title up there at the top. And what else? Black Friday sale is coming up this Sunday. Okay, Sunday, don't forget. We have some great deals coming up for Black Friday. That will be, where is my banner? I know I made one. There it is. On Sunday night, Stephanie will be live on YouTube and Facebook, probably Instagram. Oh, I want to mention, if you're watching Instagram, I'm really squeezed in really tight now. They have changed the format somehow. And it used to be wide and you could see everything, but the people who send out our live video have changed things. And now I'm like really squashed. So it looks okay here, but then when I go to work on the table, it might look kind of goofy, or when I put up banners or that kind of stuff, I can't fix it. I can't change it. So I'm sorry if you're on Instagram and it looks kind of weird, but you'll kind of get the idea of what's going on still. And you'll be able to see most things. I'll try my best to stay centered, but some things will look really big and some things will look out until they fix that. I don't know what they're going to do, but I can't do anything about it. So again, I apologize if you're on Instagram and things look kind of weird. Oh, I was telling you the Black Friday sale is Sunday night, 5 p.m. Stephanie will show off the new items. I think she's going to demo some of them. And then also a big thing will be the Fold It Club reveal. That will be that's the 23rd. So each month on the 23rd, we reveal a new Fold It Club. And so that Stephanie will be showing that off during that episode also on Sunday night. So stay tuned for that. We'll have some great deals. If you're in the club, you get your club discount and you get Black Friday sale prices combined. So you're going to get some really good deals on some brand new items. That's going to be on Sunday. So make sure you join us, set a reminder, whatever you have to do, you don't want to forget, and tell some friends. It'll be a fun time shopping. And a lot of the things that are going to be available, if you have a crafty friend, somebody who's interested in card making or doing paper crafts, you might find some gifts that would be just right for Christmas. Christmas is just around the corner. So think about that. You can buy one for you and also one for a friend. Now, all the quantities are limited. The sale does go on. We release everything for Black Friday all on one day on Sunday night. So they should last for a couple days, but quantities are limited. The sale would go on through the week, but if they sell out, they sell out, and then the price is gone. So you want to jump in and get some great deals Sunday night. That will be a fun night. Then our regular stuff this Thursday, we'll have Stephanie's Crafting Corner, and we'll just hang out and have some good time. Again, that's on YouTube and Facebook. And so If you've watched before, you know it's a great time to be hanging out with us. If you haven't watched before, join us. Stephanie's Crafting Corner. It's a great way to get card making ideas. Excuse me. Stephanie always shows some techniques or some ideas that you might find helpful. Some of them are easy, some are a little more challenging, but a good variety is always just to get new ideas and to help us think outside the box. Sometimes we get stuck in ruts of always doing the same thing the same way all the time, which can be fine, but some of the time it's good to get a little something from the outside, can like stretch us a little bit or help us to try to do something different. So excuse me, you might like that on Stephanie's Crafting Corner. Okay, I think I went through all the openings. So, oh, and then real quick, just on our website, I should mention, hang on, there are some new items on there that we released from the 15th. If you haven't been by there, hang on, I'm going to turn off my sound for just 1 second. Okay, I'm back. So there's our website. This one is selling pretty fast. The Snowball Fun Clear Stamps and dies. Those are looking to be pretty popular. I saw a lot of orders coming in for those. So if you like that combination, of course, there's some really cool cards in here. Click on the snowman and you will, Stephanie's got her video there and there will be some ideas there. These guys are pretty cute. So I think this is going to be a popular one for winter cards, Christmas cards, get well cards, thinking of you cards, thank you cards. Did I say that one? Birthday cards, whatever you want to use it for. But kind of winter theme, but I think you guys will really like that one. So that's on the website. I think the flash sale is over, but they are still there. But I do know they are starting to get low. They are starting to get low. All right, so that's the website. What else? Let's get going here. Okay, our first item up. Make sure I have this the right way. That goes there, and let's see. Yep, our first collection is stamps and dies, and this one is called Stamps for Guys. Stamps for Guys. Now, I suppose you could use some of these things for girls. Maybe, you know, a lady who likes to fish or drive cool cars. Probably not wear a tie. But anyway, you get this nice set. Let me show you what you get. And then I'll take it over to the website as well. All right. So this is our stamp set from, let me find the little lower third there. Where is that? The Stamps for Guys. So combination of stamps and dies. This is from May of 2021. And I can also get rid of that banner. May of 2021, these came out, the stamps and the dies you get. Let me double check before I tell you. I know you get a bunch. 9 stamps. 9 stamps. You get the 3 nice images. And then it says, Happy Father's Day. You are a one-of-a-kind guy. You're my hero. You're really cool. And then it's got Grandpa and Papa. Got a few of them on there. So it's kind of themed Father's Day, but this can be used for guys throughout any time of the year. Then there's also the dies, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 dies. They coordinate with the images that are on there. Okay, so there's those items. And then I'll show you the samples since we're here. And there are a good variety. You're one of a kind guy here, and I like how that little tie stands out there, and they put the little tie clip. That's cool. And a nice car. You're a one-of-a-kind guy with the speedy, fancy car there. Let's see if I can speed this up just a little bit. And here we are. Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day, it says. Whoops. Make sure we stay centered there. Happy Father's Day. Slimline. Oh, now I see how it says. So they added Grandpa. Woo, you're really cool. And that's a slimline. I like how we have the wobbles on there. If you're not familiar with that, it gives a little motion to your characters on there. This one says Grandpa. Nice, clean, looking good. Here we have an A2 card that is a circle flip it. Ooh, look at that one. Combined our bears. He's caught a fish there. And it says, you're a great catch. It says there on the front. That's a cute one, right? circle, flip it. That's one of our card bases. This is a slimline card base. Whoops, I keep getting out of sorts there. Let's scoot that way. That Dad, it says. Got that fancy car. Happy Father's Day. Now, all these don't have to be used at just Father's Day either. It can be birthday. It can be a thinking of you card. Thank you if some guy gave you something nicer. You can always do that. Dad, it says. The ties. This one's cool with a little bit of shading. You're one of a kind guy. And then last one with some ties. And this is another example of, you see how they've given a little bit extra depth there with the adhesive foam behind that. I really like it. Flat cards are fine, nice, but if you want to make your cards a little more interesting, just try those adhesive foam. It really makes a difference. It really makes your card dimensions just stand out a little bit. So you might like that. That's Stamps for Guys. And then let's go ahead and check it out on the website. Gene, there is a release. I see you there on our, let me check the chat here real quick to make sure I haven't missed anything. So Gene wants to know, is there a release on the 19th? Yes. On the 19th, what is that? Tomorrow night. Today's the 18th. There will be new items on the website tomorrow night. And then, Gene, I don't know how many items on Sunday, but there are going to be several. Okay. So several new items on Sunday, and that's when the Fold It Club will come out. Teresa says, great samples, cute set. So happy for the snowman. Yep. Frank and Sharon says, Stephanie's demos are awesome. Gene says, we need more of those red bows for sure. I'm not sure if we have any. Oh, yes. I'm not sure we have any more of those bows. We were cutting it close on this month's card kit, so I'm not sure we have any more. Oh, I'm supposed to take you up. Did I lose my dies? Give me 1 second here. Oh, yeah, there they are. Let me take you to the website and show you what's going on there. There's the Stamps for Guys. The fish is about 3. If you want to know how large the stamps and dies are, 3 1/4 inch by 1 and about 3/4 roughly. Whoops, let me get rid of that QR code so I won't be covering my face. So that's there on the website. You can see several of the card ideas that I just shared with you are going to be on there. I think a few different ones maybe too. Yeah, so that's nice. So some that I showed you and some that I did not have, a little combo. And then there's some add-on items down here, mom and dad stamp set, some sports to stamp stuff, football, all kinds of guys stuff mostly down there. And then the coordinating die set is right there too. So that is all on the website. Now let's go ahead and let's do some stamping with this and some die cutting. We'll do a little both because it's a fun collection to work with. So I'm going to switch you over to my work table here and we will check it out. We'll check it out. Here we go. Now this is where the part on Instagram, it might look extra weird because probably all you can see is like this much. And so if I don't stay right in here, I'm going to lose you. So I apologize, but again, it's just kind of the best I can do right now. Out of my control. So let's stamp first. And let's go ahead and we're going to take a couple of the big images and I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see what's going on down here. And hopefully that will stay right in the center. Again, I'm trying to make sure that everybody can see. So let's see. How's that? Not quite centered. I think I'm going to, I want to not move this machine, but I might have to. All right. That should be pretty centered right there. We're going to get a block. Get a block here. And we need some ink. Got ink there. And let's see. Let's go ahead and we're just going to do something on white here. And I'm going to do my Stephanie imitation there and just tear up some stuff just because we can. And we'll give it a little more light here too. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, that looks good. Let's go ahead and do some stamping here. Let's start off with our fish. Maybe we'll do a couple of images of each one of them. I did test these out yesterday and give them a try, and they were stamping really nicely. Let's go ahead and get that. Do I have a card base that I can use for this? Not that one. Not that one either. Do I have a good card base to use for this? Oh yeah, we can just throw it on there just to give an idea what we're doing. All right, there's our fish. We need a block. And then we just need to ink it up. I think you can see that. We'll get some black ink, which we call licorice here at the Stamps of Life. And we just got to make sure we get this all inked up. Let me stay in the center. I forgot. I want to make sure everybody can see real good what's going on. And then I'm just going to kind of double check to make sure that I have, it looks like I have ink on everything. Maybe not the center, all those little dots, little scales on our fish. So we want to make sure we have that. Whoops. Oh, now I got some ink on me. We're going to just rub that over there. And with the secret weapon under us, you just make sure you give it some nice pressure and boom, there's one. Where'd he go? There he is. That looks really sharp. So that is our first image. I think you can see that. It's a little bright. Let's go ahead and do it one more time just for the heck of it. Maybe I'll show you the difference here between these guys. All right, one more time. Got that. And then let's switch over and let's do a couple of the cards. We're just testing these out and having some fun. If you like the fish. Ooh. Oh, so we have a tie there, you know, and whenever I think of ties, I think of being dressy, like dressing up. So my question for you guys is, do you like to get dressed up? Do you like to get dressed up, or do you just like to stay casual all the time? Myself, I'm not a big dress up person. If I have to wear a tie or get dressed up, okay, depending on the occasion, but I'd rather just be casual. But some people really like to get dressed up. So what do you like to do? Are you a dressy person? I know you ladies are not going to wear a tie, but getting the tie out makes me think of getting all dressed up or something like that. Some special occasion. Do you like to get dressed up, or do you just like to stay casual? Let us know in the chat. No right or wrong answer. Whatever you like to do, just let us know, just for fun. Are you a fancy dresser, or do you like to stay casual? Let us know. All right, these are all coming out really nice. Look at these. Now we're going to die cut them. We're going to die cut some of these. And let's do that. So I'm going to get my dies. And I also want to show you how one of these inside dies work. So I wonder how the chat's going. If you are guys are fancy dressers, or if you just like to stay casual, let me know in the chats. Let me know in the chat. Now, I see everybody's kind of going casual. I see almost everybody is casual. But if it's a special event, do you like to get dressed up? Now, I know day to day, I think we all would say we want to be casual. But how about for a special event? Would you like to get dressed up then? Or you're all, nah, I'd rather just have the special event, but be able to be casual. That would probably honestly how I would feel, but I don't mind getting dressed up when it's something important. Let's see. Let's go ahead and get that. And what else do we have? We've got that. I need dies. So we got to match these up. So I'm going to use, this is the outside of the die, and I'm going to have to zoom back out now a little bit because we're an hour too close. There we go. Zoom out, Ken. All right. You should be able to see most of the table there. Turn that back a little. That's better. All right. So we just lay this die around our little fish here. Make sure I have it the right direction. That goes right over there. And so these are doing the outline, kind of, so we will get a shadow with these guys, but that's fine. And then I'll probably die cut one of just the insides as well, so I can show you how that works. So I'm going to spend an extra second here, make sure I get it lined up good, which I've got. And I need some more adhesive for this one. We won't cut all these guys out, but we'll get at least a car and a fish. One of each. Whoop, and that one moves. See that? I did not do a good job This washi tape has been here for quite some time, so it might have lost its stickiness, which is just supposed to have a little. Okay, good. There we go. Now we do have some, right after we die cut here, we have fun facts for ties. That's what I found today. Fun facts for ties. We'll do that, and then we'll go on to our next item, and then we'll follow that up with our movie quiz coming up. So let's see, I die cut that one there. Great. And here. And let's go ahead and pull off that washi tape and see what we have. These are coming out really nice. Really, really nice images. So we've got those two guys. All right. Looking good so far. And let's see, let's go ahead and I have a card base here. I cut this out earlier. I'm not trying to make a full card, but I'm just trying to show you what we can do. We'll be looking at this set here in just a second, the scallop. So since I have it out, we might as well use this base as well. And that should work there. Whoopsie. Let's go ahead and piece that together. So we're just going to add a little extra color. And whoops, I got one little extra chat in there. Get that out of there. Boom. Almost. I'm going to do this. I got to at least make sure I line it up right, huh? It doesn't look all weird. Okay, easy, easy. So this is, if you're not familiar, this is a slimline card, and I just added a layer on there just to give it a little something extra. And I wanted to show you so this is the adhesive foam. Remember how I was talking about how we can make some things kind of pop off our card? Well, it's real easy. So this is adhesive. It kind of will make a sticker and some depth. See how it's a little bit thicker than just paper? So it'll make your card, your image kind of stand up a little bit. So that's what we're trying to do, make one of our images. So I'll show you the difference. And again, there's no right way or wrong way to do this. I just think it makes the cards look a little more interesting, okay? So here's our car. We're just going to put this foam on the back, and then I'm going to add it to the front of my card. Okay. So I'm going to add that there. And then I got my fish, and this one I'm just going to put the adhesive right on him. And you probably wouldn't usually put this combination together, but this will help you see a little bit the difference. So there we have, and I think you can see, so here's my fish. He looks good, but he's flat. He's right on the paper. And then you can see my car. It has a little bit of depth to it. And here you can really tell. See how the car is, maybe I can pop it up there. The car has a little bit of space in there. So it pulls the image off the card a little bit, and it makes it stand out. But either way is all right. But those are the options that I was thinking about. We also have the wobbles. Do I have a wobble here? These are kind of fun. No, I thought maybe I had a wobble here. I was going to show you guys how to use one of those, but I don't see any. There used to be a little stash here. I think somebody came and stole them. But that is the stamps for guys. Oh, I wanted to show you real quick while we have this out. So we have these inside pieces, and I just want to show you what happens like when we die cut with this car. It looks a little bit different than the outline that we just cut. Whoops. I dropped something. That's bad because, oh, it's my little table. Once you drop something around here, everything by my feet, it's super dark. So you can never go back and find it until you turn all the lights later. So some things just kind of disappear under the table, but I found it. So let's go ahead and do that. And I'll just trim this down. We don't need all this paper. And so this is the inside die. What I just used to cut out the images we just worked with, I use the outside die, which kind of creates the shadow. But this kind of lines up with the inside of the car. But I'm just cutting it, no stamps or anything like that, just to show you what you get. This is an idea where you can kind of paper piece if you want to. You can color your car if you want. You have that option using markers or ink, stamps. You could color it that way. You could just also paper piece with the inside of this die. So let me show you what you get here. So here's this, and it's cut out the image. So you see how the pieces are separate. Look at that. Woo. So it starts out like this, but you can see the little lines in there. So if you just want this piece here to be blue, you can make that happen. You just trim those little chads down there. If you want your wheels to be black, just take a little scissors there, snip them off. So you can paper piece and put your car all together. Let me see if we have any ideas where that happened. So you can see what I'm, so if you wanted a red car, great. You could cut your card in red, but if you want to add that stripe, you could just take this white stripe and you could give them a white stripe and just add it right in there. So you kind of take the pieces of this and you can change the color of your car. That's one way to do it. You can also ink, color, that's up to you, but different options. So I wanted to show you how those inside dies work. And so that's a nice sample. Do I have any other cars? Oh, here's another way you can do it. So see, paper piecing, adding the different colors to your car. It really makes it look kind of exciting. So those are some things that you can do with our stamps and dies. That is the Stamps for Guys collection. Of course, we kind of think Father's Day. I know that's about when it came out in 2021, but you can use this for making cards for guys like any time of the year. It doesn't have to be specifically Father's Day, maybe just some special guy in your life and you want to tell them you appreciate him. So that's on the website. If you have those, that is a reminder for you to you want to get out and use those items, right? You want to use what you have. So that is our first one, our first item. And we're going to, we got to do our fun facts for ties. So let me find that real quick. And there's some interesting things about ties that you probably didn't know, and maybe you don't want to know, but just for fun, we're going to talk about ties here. Oh, upside down ties, no. Right, sit up ties. Give me 1 second, we'll find that. I'm cleaning up over here a little bit. Hopefully keep things a little bit organized and be able to find ways to get this back together. I didn't do a good job of keeping everything together here at the start, so I gotta catch up here. All right, we got that. Let's find our fun facts. I will grab those here. 12 fun facts about ties, and I'll let you see what I'm reading. This is by some clothing place, I think. Of course, they want you to buy some ties, but we're just interested in what they're going to tell us here. So let's see. We don't have to shop, but we can learn something, so we're going to try that out. All right, here we are. 12 fun facts about ties. Can I make this a little bit larger? Let's see. Control plus. Does that work? Command plus. Oh, there we go. Okay, 12 fun facts about ties. This is from 2018. That should be still pretty accurate. Let's see. Ties were originally called here we go, a cravat, and they were worn by Croatian soldiers. Huh. Now that is kind of weird just right in the beginning, right? It doesn't seem like you would want to get dressed up when you're going off to war or going off to fight in a battle. But I guess if you're in Croatia, you want to get dressed up before you go out there and try to get rid of some people or before they get rid of you. You're ready to go. Neckties are the most famous gift given on Father's Day. I wonder if that's still true. What year is that? Was 7 years ago. Now, this was before the COVID times. Like, I know people dress even more casual than back then. I wonder if that's still true. Every year, Americans spend approximately, how about this, $1 billion to purchase 100 million ties. So I guess that would make the average tie like $10. $1 billion in ties. We got to go into the tie business, don't you guys think? $1 billion ties. To make a quality silk tie, it requires approximately 100 silkworms. Silkworms. I feel like when I was in grade school, or maybe our teacher had us have a little silkworm farm. I don't know. It seems familiar. Did any of you guys ever have silkworms? Did any of you ever do anything with silkworms? Do you really get, is it like webs that they make and it's silk? I don't know how that works. Now this one's crazy. There are 177,147 different ways in which you can tie a necktie. How can that be? Does anybody know how can that be possible? How can that be possible? How can you tie a necktie that many different ways? I don't believe that. I don't believe that. See, Sylvie says, my kids had a box lid full of silkworms. See, I thought it was a kid thing. The biggest and largest manufacturer of ties in the world is in Xingzhou, China. Xingzhou, China. They make a lot of ties there. This one's funny. Those who collect ties, what do you think they call them? Grabatologists. Grabatologist. Okay. Stripes on American ties go from the top right. So this is my right. So this side, wait, no, my right is over here. And they go to the left. So, but look at this. If you are British, if you're like in England, the tie stripes run from the left to the bottom. Who knew? Who knew? Does it mean something if the stripes go one way as opposed to the other? I don't know. At one point in history, touching another person's tie. Okay, so I'm going to warn you, don't touch anybody's tie, because it says, at one point in history, touching another person's tie meant that you wanted to duel or fight that other person. Ooh, so those are like fighting words if you touch somebody's tie. So don't ever do that. You know, like some people grab people by the tie and goof around. Don't do that. During the 17th century, the English designed a tie sword that a sword could not cut through. What did they make that tie out of that a sword could not cut through it? You can purchase, how about this one? A bulletproof tie. What do they make that tie out of? Are these like metal ties or wood ties, or I don't know. The world's most expensive tie was made by an Indian designer, Satya Paul, for the Mumbai fashion show in 2004. How much do you think it was? The cost of the tie was, this is a great deal, $220,000 tie. I could think of a lot of other things I could do with $220,000 than buy a tie, but it was made of pure silk. All right, but here's the catch. 261 diamonds. So maybe it was worth it. I mean, $1,000 a diamond, that would be $261,000. So I guess. So there's some fun facts about ties, but I guess the most important thing is don't go and grab somebody's tie, because you might get in a fight or a duel. I guess that was very offensive to do that, to grab somebody's, touch another person's tie. At one point in history, it doesn't tell us when that was, but I never knew that. So you're risking your life if you're messing around with somebody's ties. All right. Hope that was good. Probably some things you never knew and maybe you didn't want to know, but it's real. It's fun facts. So it has to be real, right? Don't you think? It just has to be. So anyway, it's on the internet. So everything on the internet is true, right? Well, we can pick and choose there. Let's see. I told you Black Friday starts Sunday night. Don't forget that. We did that already. We're moving on to our next item, our Scalloped Slimline. Now, I just kind of showed you some of that, but I didn't show you actually how to cut it out. Now, I do believe we might have looked at this a little bit in the past, but I found this big bunch of cards and card samples, and I didn't want to waste showing you it again. We might have just talked about the inside parts that come in this, or we might have used the outside base for another panel from another die set. But anyhow, this is the Scalloped Slimlines from November of 2020. November of 2020. Good chance you have this one, and it could be in your stash of card making items. But this is a great one. It does come with a couple words here. What is one of the words is blessings, and I think it's congratulations. It comes with the word and the shadow. Those are in there, and it has a couple nice extra decorative panels. But let me show you these card samples, and you're going to see, oh yeah, the scallop one's really nice. A lot of time when we make cards, whether they're A2 or flip it or any kind of card, we just kind of think straight, nice shape. Maybe we'll do rounded at the edges, but some of the time, if you want to make an extra special card, having something like this, the scallop dies, really makes it look a little bit extra special. And I'll show you with these card samples. I think you're going to like them. Okay, let's check it out. Let's check it out. So here we go. Here we go. Blessings, this one says. Now look at this. Couple layers, some flowers, the sentiments that are included. So nice. Slimlines, they work like this. They go in a business type envelope. So the postage is just like regular postage, but look at all that space you get. Fun. Here we go. Perfect. This one is great for winter. Look at this. Season's greetings. So maybe you have some other word sentiments, dies that you just have in your collection. You can add it to the front of this card. These are all extra items that have been added. But look at those nice scallops. So you got the scallop edge of the die and also the inside part there too, both. And here is a congratulations card. Oh, it's got an upside down hat. Does that mean something, you guys? I don't know. Does that? Oh, because maybe you threw your hat up in the air, so one's coming down. I get it. I get it. Congratulations, it says. So perfect for a graduation card. And we have graduations throughout the year, though most of them are spring. Hello, it says, with some just using some paper, a paper pad. You got pattern paper behind there. Very nice. So let me know if you see one of these cards that's your favorite. Tell me in the chat. There's such a big variety. I'll go back through them real quick. If you see one that really stands out, do you like hello? Whoop. Congratulations. We'll go through, there's about 20 of them, so it might be hard to remember, so you might have to write it down. Season's greetings. Or if you just see one, you go, oh, that's definitely my favorite. Let us know. Blessings. Happy birthday. Look at all those cool cupcakes. So that's all in there. I do have some more. Birthday blessings. It says birthday blessings. Well, look at all the sparkles on that. So tell me if you see one that you think is your favorite. Just say like the word that was on it and the color. You can say that in the chat. And this is all just a chance for all of us to vote for something that we like the best. And what's fun about it is we all have different opinions, different things we like. A hello with some cool flowers on there. But let me know if you see one that stands out that you like the best. Love life. We've got our dolphin. Everybody loves dolphins, right? I love dolphins. You matter, and it's got some nice background die. I think that is called the Starburst die there for the background. Cool. Super, and I think it says means super. You are a super friend, like a superstar friend. But tell me in the chat if you see one that was your favorite. Blessings with the nice background die that is included. A bunch of circles there. Here we just have the basic start thinking of you, it says, and some pattern paper there. So you do have to use a large, to do pattern paper on these size cards, you have to use I think a 6x9 paper pad. Congratulations, it says. And last one, back to our fish, a little fish tank, loving life. Loving life. But I do have a large paper pad, so I'm going to show you guys how we can just add a pattern to the front of our card. We're going to do that real quick. Whoops. Before we do that, we're going to go ahead and switch back over to the website, and I will show you. This is the Scalloped Slimline. Now, all the samples that I shared with you, they're not going to be on the website. So if you save this video or bookmark it or something, if you want to go back to it, it gets saved on YouTube. You can go back in time and you can check out some of the samples that I added to this video. But here on the website, there are some, and you can just scroll through it. Yeah, these are all different than even what I just shared with you. So you can see we've made a lot with this. There's such a big variety. I think we saw that one. And there's Stephanie's older video and Stephanie's video. And I think that's the front of the, there's the dies you get. How many dies you get? 8 dies total. And quite a lot that you can do. Oh, I see more samples. How about that? Nice. Fish guys in there. Fish to stamp, I think. Blessings. We saw that one. Did I see some gnomes? All right. But anyway, that's all on the website. There will be more slimline stuff down there. You can mix and match. Almost all the slimline stuff can be mixed and matched. Almost all of it. There are some combinations of things that won't work. But usually if you have a base any of these extra panels will fit in there. So you can get a lot of different designs. That's on the website. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to do a little bit of die cutting ourselves. I'll show you how easy it is to make. We'll cut a card base and maybe we'll add in a panel or two and see how it looks. Okay, let's give it a try. So we're going to, here's the big base. That's going to do almost all the card, the foundation of the card. And then let's go ahead and use this one. And it's got the nice scallop look. We'll layer it on. I do have a pattern paper pad. Let me see if I can find it still. Now this is a larger 6x9, just to give you an idea. This is the regular 6x6, and this is, I think it's 6x9. But you have to have this larger one. You see this die will fit on here, but on this one, nope, there's not enough paper there. So that's why you need a larger pattern paper pad. And I'm going to pick out something here before we go to our machine. Let's see, something that might work. That should look pretty nice. Okay, I've got an idea. Let's move on. So again, if you have this, what is it from? November of, oops, I forgot to switch my camera. Doggone it. I apologize. Whoop. Here I am. I don't know when I switched it. Did I show you guys the website? Why? Oh, my camera is not switching. Something has happened here. Let's see. Give me 1 second. There it goes. Did you guys see the website? Did it work when I did the website? Maybe tell me, when did I mess up? Did you see the website when I was showing you the card samples and the different slimline? Did that get to you? And then maybe when I switched here and I said, we're going to use this outside die, and we're going to use an inside die, and we're going to use a larger pattern paper pad. I'm just doing a review here because I don't know what you missed. I apologize. One of my cameras did not get switched right, and I think it was my user error, so I apologize. Now we're going to go over to the workstation, okay? Let's do that. So I apologize. I hope I didn't mess things up too much. All right, there we go. Almost. Ooh. Got it. All right, we're over here now. So let's just go ahead and do a little die cutting. Let's start off with the inside part. So this will make the panel for our card. I'm just going to use those stars right there. Keep it nice and simple. And then we're going to need to kind of look for something there. Okay. Let's see. Okay, you saw the website. Good. All right, I didn't mess that part up. So I think when I came back to show you what I was going to do, and I was supposed to have the camera on me. So again, I apologize for that. I haven't goofed up like that in quite some time, so I'm surprised. I just plain hit a wrong button. I did. All right, so I want to get the most out of this sheet, so I'm going to go ahead and move that right to the side there. Then we do have some, if we want to use that sometime in the future. So there we have basically a bunch of cool stars. And we're going to run that through there. And it's going to have a nice scallop edge around it. And then kind of to pull it together, we want to have, we have all these cool colors. We have like a light blue, maybe a sky. That might be lemonade. We want to pull that together. So we're looking for something that will match one of these colors really good. There's a dark blue, like a midnight. So let's see if I can find one of these sheets here. That looks kind of, that one looks kind of good. So let's try this. Is there enough space on here to pull that off? Oh, just enough. How about that? So we're going to take, this is, I would say is midnight, and real dark blue, almost a black, but this will kind of coordinate with our front there. All right, let's run that through our machine. Have a little bit of a speed bump. And let's see what we get here. And this is the Slimline Scallop Card die set. It has some nice panels, some nice sentiment. So we've got that, good. And then we're just going to get right onto there. Nice, 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 nice. And what else are we going to do? Let's do that. Go ahead and run some adhesive on here. And I'm going to get since we're making pretty good time today. I have a question for you before we do our movie quiz. Do you have a favorite movie? Do you have a favorite movie? I was looking over this list from like the last 50 years of movies. Do you have a favorite movie that you love to watch, that you can watch it over and over and over again? Do you have a favorite movie? There's one older movie that I've been wanting to watch that I have never watched called The Godfather. So I want to watch that. All the ratings say it was really good. I'm not going to say it's my favorite, but there was one on the list that is kind of scary. It was Alien back in the, I think, late 70s. I kind of like that one. That was fun. I like the part where that little alien pops out of the guy and runs across the table. Oh, that was cool. So what's your favorite movie? Do you have a favorite movie, a go-to movie that if you see it on TV, you just watch it for a little while, or maybe you watch it all the way through. Maybe you bought it. You just keep it around the house. What's your favorite movie? Add that in the chat just for fun. And then we're going to, after we finish up our card here, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do a movie quiz. So that is coming up. I'm going to get the congratulations sentiment here. And if we were trying to really make the card nice, we would want to use the adhesive sheet on this. But we're just trying to speed things up. We're not making a complete card, but that would help out a lot later. So you think about that. And then this will be the shadow. But let us know in the chat if you have a favorite movie, one you just love to watch. Maybe it's a recent movie. Maybe it's one of those old black and white movies. Let us know in the chat. I'm sure there will be a good variety of movie favorites. Tell us your movie favorite. I also saw like Jaws was on there. Empire Strikes Back. I don't think these are like classic movies, but movies that I remember. Let's see. Need a couple colors here to kind of make this happen. Will that work? Got some red on there, so that might. And what else? What else? Well, I'm not sure. We're going to do the letters in white. I'm not sure how that will turn out, but we're just going to give it a try. Okay, why not? Why not? So let's run that through there. And we're going to try to save ourselves a little bit of time. Get both of these to go through at the same time. So tell us your favorite movie, if you have a classic movie you like, an old Western movie, or a spooky, scary movie, or some drama, or somebody who was famous that was an actor or an actress that you really liked. Let us know in the chat that was in a movie you really enjoy. That's just for fun. And then get ready, because we're going to do our movie quiz next. And I think there's like 30 questions. The good thing is they kind of show you pictures, so it might help us. All right. Oh, we're going to get some speed bumps definitely on here. Speed bumps. We're just adding the word congratulations to the front of our card just because we can. Uh-oh. Where did it go? There it is. Whoops, let me turn off my alarm there. Good. Okay, there's our words. Did I do this right? Because I would have thought this would have popped out by itself. Ooh, this one's really fragile. So you got to be careful with this because this could tear. I must have had it just on the edge of the board so it didn't cut all the way. So there's our congratulations. Good. And again, that is pretty intricate. And this should be our shadow. That worked out good. So we got our shadow there. And let's see if we can pull this off. I'm just going to try to dab a little bit of adhesive tape on this. Not too much. Again, we're not making a full-on card here, but just to give you a quick idea of how we can do this. Now, I'm not going to punch all these out, but each of these the A's, they have a little dot in there that you'd want to push those out, but I don't want to spend too much of your time here. So we've got that, and we can layer that on there. Just want to make sure this is going to work out. I think I have it the opposite way. There we go. So that will layer on there and on there. Good, good, good. All righty, here we go. This will be the tricky part because so I'm going to put some cardstock behind me so the adhesive doesn't get all over our card or over our machine. And I'm just going to kind of dab a couple little spots there. I would not recommend doing this way. Again, the adhesive sheet would probably be the best, but if you're in a pinch and you don't have an adhesive sheet, this will still work. So this is kind of sticky now. And then we're going to add it to the base. And we're just making a quick congratulations card here. And of course, you could add some more artwork, maybe like those. If this was for a guy, you could add one of those cards that we saw from the Stamps for Guys set. That would work. Congratulations, it says. Make sure I kind of have that lined up. It's not going to be perfect. And then I'm just going to kind of press that down. Make sure it's somewhat close. Again, this is not perfect because I don't have adhesive on everything, but that's looking pretty good. Congratulations, it says. And then let's just add it to the front of our card. This would be another spot if you had some of that foam to put behind this word. It would just kind of make it stand out a little bit extra. That's what would be my choice to do. I'm just going to layer that right. We'll put that down there like we expect to add some kind of sentiments up there on the top. So you could add a little something extra up there, maybe have some embellishments. But that is the Scalloped Slimline. Easy to use, comes with congratulations, blessings, fun. You might have some other word sentiments. You have happy birthday, miss you, thanks so much. Anything you could add to the front of this card. So easy one to use that you might like. They're from the Stamps of Life. Let's see. I think everybody is answering in there in the chat. Good, good. Thanks to everybody for jumping in. Let's see. Back to me. Let's do our quiz now. We are moving along. Let's get on to our quiz here. Everybody got to help me out. I will definitely need help on these because I'm not a super movie person. Just because I guess I watch sports instead of movies. So that's just what I do. If I had more time, I probably would watch more movies. Let's go ahead and find our quiz. It says 30 movie trivia questions. And I think it will give us a total at the end, I hope. So let me go ahead and grab that for us. And we're going to present another screen. And we should be coming right up. Share. All right, here we are. I think you can see. Perfect. 30 movie trivia questions. I'm going to get rid of that banner down there at the bottom. We don't need that anymore. Don't forget, we have the Black Friday sale coming up on Sunday. It starts Sunday. Stephanie will show you all the new items on YouTube and Facebook and all that stuff. And then this Thursday, we have Crafting Corner. So don't forget about those things coming up. I wanted to remind you if you're just jumping in with us. We've been hanging out here, having some fun together. Where am I? I'm just lost every once in a while here. Scallop. We got to get rid of that one. There we go. Okay, here's our 30 movie trivia questions. Let's get started. And I will watch in the chat for your answers. And here we go. Start the quiz. It says your answers are saved anonymously. Who directed the movie? This is not why I said I wanted to see the movie The Godfather. But who directed the movie The Godfather? Was it Martin Scorsese, Francis Ford Coppola, Steven Spielberg, or Quentin Tarantino? Who directed that movie, The Godfather? Early 70s. Who knows the director of that movie? Yes. Thanks, Don. Remember to like and share. That helps. That's right. So who can help me out? Who? Sylvie thinks it's Francis. Anybody else to back that up? This is going back pretty far in time. I don't think it's Steven Spielberg. His first ones were like Jaws, right? Martin? Okay. Who said that one? Diane says, we got to break this tie. We've got to break this tie. No idea. A, says Barbara. All right, we're going to try A. No! Oh, for one. Who said Francis Ford Coppola? Sylvie, you were right. In which movie does Leonardo DiCaprio play the character Jack Dawson? In Titanic, Inception, The Revenant, or The Beach? When is Leonardo DiCaprio? When is he also known as Jack Dawson? Jack Dawson. Sylvie says Titanic. Yeah, anybody else got to back that up? Ah, Don was in boarding school. No TV. Titanic. Okay. Good. All right. We're 50-50. What film was Kate Winslet's first movie role in? Was it Titanic, Sense and Sensibility, Heavenly Creatures, or Jude? Now, she was in Titanic, but was that her first movie role? Does anybody know? Kate Winslet's first movie role. Does anybody know that one? Kate Winslet, first movie. First movie. Nobody? Are we just going to guess Titanic again? No help? Nobody likes Kate Winslet. Poor Kate Winslet. What do you guys think? C. Don Young says C. Ooh. C. Anybody else? Wow. Janet says it's Titanic. Don says Heavenly Creatures. And B, we've got them all. Oh no. We're in trouble on this one. Well, Don, you answered first, so we're gonna try Heavenly Creatures, okay? Yeah, you were right, Don. Great job. Which movie won the Academy Award for Best Picture in 2020? Was it Joker, 1917, Parasite, or The Irishman? So who won the Academy Award for Best Picture in 2020? 2020. That was 5 years ago. Was it Joker, 1917, Parasite, The Irishman? I don't think I saw any of those, so I'm totally counting on you guys. 2020, who won the Academy Award? Diane says, all these question marks do not help us. Teresa and Diane, I see question mark after your answers. Now, see, Stephanie says it's C, and Barbara says it's C. All right. Yes, you guys are right. If you said Parasite, great. In which movie does the character James Bond make his first appearance? Dr. No, Skyfall, Goldfinger, or Casino Royale? When is the first which one of these is the first James Bond movie? First James Bond movie. Dr. No, Skyfall, Goldfinger, Casino Royale. I remember watching some James Bond's movies, but I don't remember the original ones. Anybody? Any James Bond fans? Probably not. I think it's more of a guy thing, huh? Goldfinger, says Gloria. D, says Stephanie Wiseman. Barbara said, you guys are giving me all different answers. Dr. No. Oh my, this makes it difficult. And Don says Dr. No. Teresa says gold. All right, we've got 3 votes for A, so let's try Dr. No. Yes. If you said Dr. No, yes, you were right. Who's the oldest Oscar winner as of 2023? Was it Christopher Plummer, Martin Scorsese, Clint Eastwood, or Anthony Hopkins? The oldest winner, oldest person, I guess, who ever won a Oscar. Does anybody know those names? Barbara says she saw that. James Bond, nice. Who is the oldest Oscar winner as of 2023? Anybody know that one? Plummer, Scorsese, Eastwood, or Anthony Hopkins? The oldest winner as of 2023. Hopkins, says Barbara. Okay, we're going to go with Barbara. Great. A, B, C, D. Okay, I think Anthony Hopkins made history at the 93rd Academy Awards by winning the best. Okay. Who was the first Black person to win an Oscar? Oprah Winfrey? No. That's who I think it is. Sidney Poitier, Morgan Freeman, or Hattie McDaniel? Who's the first to win an Oscar of these four? Oprah, Sidney, Morgan, or Hattie? I think it's Sidney, but you guys tell me. Sylvie says Sidney. Anybody else? I don't think I saw any movies with him, but I know the name, and it seems like it's pretty famous. Sidney, 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 Sidney. Ah! How did we get that one wrong? Now, has anybody heard of Hattie? I just be honest, I had not heard of that name. What score did Elle Woods get on her LSAT in the movie Legally Blonde? Oh, LSAT. Is that like the legal test? Legally Blonde. What was her score? I don't think I saw this. Sylvie knows that name. Yeah, you guys, I thought I had one right, and I thought it was Sydney. Elle Woods, does anybody see Legally Blonde? What was the score? Does anybody remember? They must have talked about this number a lot. 143, 167, 179, or 180? I don't know. These are hard questions. If it was just up to me, I would be an F. I don't think I would have got any of them right so far. Great movie, no idea, says Karen. Right. Admit they did not get it. Let's go with the lowest, because that just sounds right, huh? Let's go with the lowest. Nope. Almost the highest, 179. How old was Stockard Channing when she played high school student Rizzo in Grease? Now, Grease, I did like that movie. 77, 78, is that right? She's supposed to be a teenager in the movie, but how old was she in real life? Does anybody know that one? Oh, Stephanie, you did get that one right. You said 179. How old was Stockard Channing when she played high school student Rizzo in the movie Grease? 25? No, I say older. Everybody was way older, and they're supposed to be teenagers, right? But Sylvie says 25. I'm guessing one of these 30 ones. Oh, Stephanie says 25 too. All right. We've got 2 votes for 25, so let's do it. Nope. It was 33. Which movie does not feature Emma Stone? So no Emma Stone. La La Land, Easy A, The Help, Silver Linings Playbook. Emma Stone was not in which one? La La Land, Easy A, The Help, Silver Linings Playbook. I haven't seen any of these. This is really not good. This is not good. Silver Lining, says Diane. Okay, we're going to go with that. Good. Awesome, Diane. Thanks. Thanks, Stephanie and Karen. What's the name of Spike Lee's first feature film? Was it Do the Right Thing? She's Got to Have It. Malcolm X. Jungle Fever. Spike Lee's first. I saw Do the Right Thing. Does anybody know Spike Lee movies? Oh, I don't know. I saw this one, but I don't know. 33, no. Do the Right Thing. That's my guess too, Diane, just because I saw it, but there might have been one. Let's do we're going to pick this. Nope. She's Got to Have It. In which year did Steven Spielberg win his first Oscar for Best Director? 82, 93, 94, 98. This is just random. Spielberg. When did E.T. come out? Was it 82? Maybe it's 82. Spielberg first. Was it for E.T.? Easy A. 82, says Diana. I think that was. Nope. 94 for Schindler's List. And what year was the first Die Hard movie released? 84, 86, 88, or 90? Oh, man. First year for Die Hard. 84, 86, 88, or 90? Jungle Fever. You guys must be getting a delay, right? Because I'm like a question or two ahead of you. Shows how either slow my internet is or yours. One of the 90, says Diane with the question mark. Could be. Anybody else? Seems like a 90s movie. 84 is definitely too early. Okay, we're just going to go with 90 and nobody else is guessing. Nope. 88. Where were Lord of the Rings movies filmed? Where were the Lord of the Rings movies filmed? This one I actually know. I'm going to get one right. Where did they film the Lord of the Rings? It starts at the N and it also has a Z. Boom. In Mean Girls, Katie moves to Illinois from which continent? Does anybody know Mean Girls? Where did she come from? Is she from Europe, from Asia, from Africa, or Australia? Mean Girls. A character named Katie. Where does she come from? Mean Girls. Mean Girls, Mean Girls, Mean Girls. Does anybody know Mean Girls? I do not know Mean Girls. I don't know. Is this A, B, C, D? You guys are going to have to type in the word here because I don't know. Europe, Asia, Africa, or Australia? Europe, Asia, Africa, or Australia? Africa, says Barbara. Okay, let's do it. Yes. From Kenya, it said Sean Connery wore a toupee in every James Bond movie. True or false? Sean Connery wore a toupee in every James Bond movie. I'm going to say false. What do you guys say? In every James Bond movie? That's why it makes me say no. Does anybody know? Back me up, somebody. True or false? Toupee? False. I say false too. Let's try it. Ah, it was true. In 2017, Call Me By Your Name was filmed in France. 2017 movie, Call Me By Your Name. Does anybody even know this? Does anybody even know this movie? Call Me By Your Name. Was it filmed in France? True or false? True or false? Barbara, I don't know if you're answering the one before Barbara or this one. Does anybody know this movie? We're just guessing. Since the last one was true, we're going to say, let's go true. Yeah. It was false. It was in Italy. Carrie was the first movie to be adapted from a Stephen King novel. Carrie, that was a scary movie, right? It was the first movie to be adapted from a Stephen King novel. Is that true or false? True or false? Well, we're doing really terrible on this one, so we're going to do like one or two more. False, says Diane. We're going to go false. She was fast. It was true. We're getting every one of these true or false. We're going to get it wrong. Which actor has not played the Joker? Heath Ledger, he did. Joaquin Phoenix, Jared Leto, or Robert Pattinson? Who has not been the Joker? I only know that Heath Ledger was the Joker. Which actor has not played the Joker? This will be our last one. I don't think we're not doing good on this one at all. I thought you guys would do good. Jared or Robert? Let's do Robert. You guys are right. What song plays in the tunnel scene in Perks of Being a Wallflower? I don't even know this movie. Heroes by David Bowie. Come On Eileen by Dexy's Midnight Runners. Don't Stop Believin' by Journey, or We Can't Stop by Miley Cyrus. Does anybody know this song? We'll give up after this. This is our last one. I don't think it's going to give us a score, but we did not do good. That's all that matters. We did not do good. We did not do good. Oh, does anybody know this movie? Wallflower movie. Wallflower movie? Is it the song Heroes? Is it Come On Eileen? Is it Don't Stop Believing? Or is it We Can't Stop? Nobody knows this one, huh? Nobody knows this one. I'm on my own. Ooh, let's see. I'm going to guess. Yeah, you were right on that one, Janet. Heroes, Come On Eileen, Don't Stop Believing, We Can't Stop. I'm going to say, this is just a guess. Nope, Heroes. All right. Enough of that one. That was terrible. I guessing we did like probably 20 and we probably got like 5 right. But this is taking too long. So let's get rid of that and let's move on to, let's get back over here. All right, we're back. Sorry about that. Took way too long and I was way too terrible. I think you guys without my help might have done quite a bit better, but that's the best we could do. All right, on to our good news segment, Psalm 56. Psalm 56 is in the Old Testament. I'll pull up our verse here in just a second. So as we get started, the context of this kind of has to do with fear. So what causes you, now you don't have to answer this in the chat. Barbara says this was a fun game. I don't know, Barbara, but we played. It was kind of slow moving because we were not very sharp on the answers. So what causes you to be afraid or to be fearful? Now, you don't have to answer in the chat, but at least in your mind, or maybe you write it down, what causes you to be afraid or maybe fearful about something? Is it maybe when you think about the future or finances or maybe family relationships or personal relationships? Maybe it's something that's happened in the past, or maybe it's even our health or thinking about life in the future, or even like the end of life when we die one day. What causes you to be fearful? So think about that. Well, in the Bible, we know that we should not be afraid. We're told many times in the Bible that God is with us. We don't have to be afraid. But that being said, like the psalmist we're going to read here in Psalm 56, there are times that we are afraid. So when you have that feeling, don't think it's like a bad thing or you're not doing what God wants you to do. It's natural. All of us have times that we're fearful, we're afraid, something bothers us, we can't let it go. That's natural. We're humans, right? And we're frail. We don't have it all together all the time. Now, if we had perfect trust in God all the time, we would never have to be afraid, right? There's no doubt. If we honestly believe that God was with us all the time and we knew he was going to take care of us, there would be nothing that we would have to be afraid of. But we know the truth is there are times that we are afraid. So we're all humans, and so it is natural. And I think part of the reason God says don't be afraid is because he knows we are going to be afraid sometimes. So let's see how how did he combat his fear? So this psalm, Psalm 56, almost in the middle of the Bible, if you were to have a Bible and you're reading Psalm 56, to give you a little bit of groundwork behind what the story is. David had been chosen by God to be the next king. Well, the problem was there was already a king in place. His name was Saul, and he was not ready to give up his position yet. And so Saul's plan is that he wants to kill David. That's his plan, to get rid of David, because Saul doesn't want to give up being the king. And so what does David do? He's afraid. He has to run for his life. And so he takes off and he ends up in this city called Gath. And the problem is this city was where the enemies of Israel, it was like their stronghold. I don't know if it's their capital city, but the king lived there. It's called Gath. And so the king of Gath is there, his army, his leaders. And so David is hanging out with his enemies, the enemies of Israel, the enemies of King Saul, David's own enemies. And he's hanging out in this city and he's acting kind of like he has changed sides, that he no longer wants to be a part of Israel, that he's going to join forces with the Philistines. Well, the guys there, the Philistine guys, they start remembering, hey, you remember David? he was the guy who took out our champion. You remember Goliath, David and Goliath, the story when David defeated that guy and took his life? Well, Goliath was a champion of the Philistines. Like, he would go out and do the battles for the Philistines. Well, the Philistines here are going, hey, we can't trust David. There's no way. So though they let him live with them for some time, now they're going to turn on him. And so that's where we find David in this awkward position. And now he's fearful for his life because he's starting to hear whispers, rumbling. And here he is stuck in the enemy's camp. It could be all over for him. So the question is, or the situation is, he is afraid. And so we come to this verse in Psalm 56, verse 3. And let me grab that verse for you. Here we go. Very short and right to the point. It says, whenever I am afraid, I will trust in you. So how did David get to this point where he could say this? Whenever I am afraid, I will trust in you. And so what's really cool is if we kind of go through a lot of this psalm, we can find some of the things that David said. So how did David overcome his fears? So if you go down to verse 4, that's where it's right after the verse that we're focusing on. The very next verse, it says, in God, I will praise his word. In God, I have put my trust. I will not fear. So David is choosing to trust God. He's making that choice right there at the beginning. And then you go down to verse 7, another great example. It says, David is asking for help against his enemies. He's asking God to intercede and deal with his enemies. So in verse 7, he says, when I cry out, shall they escape by iniquity? In anger, cast down the peoples, O God. So David is asking God to step in and help him out. And then you go down a little bit further in verse 9, it says, you number my wanderings and you put my tears into your bottle. And are they not in your book? When I cry out to you, then my enemies will turn back. So he says, he knows that God is watching out for him. God knows David's situation. It says, you number my wanderings, you put my tears in your bottle. Are they not in your book? He knows that God is watching over him and he knows his situation. So David has that understanding. And then kind of verse 4, 10, and 12 altogether, it talks about how David says that he will praise God. Even though he's fearful, he's in a difficult position, David is choosing that he is going to praise God. That's just saying, God, I thank you for all you do for me. I know you're for me. I can trust you. David comes to that place where he's just praising. And then in verse 13, he's reminded again, for you have delivered my soul from death. Have you not kept my feet from falling? That I may walk before God in the light of the living. So David has this expectation again that God has come through him in the past, for him in the past. If you read the stories of 1 Samuel, 2 Samuel, David was running for his life, and there was many times that God made a way for him to escape, or he had victory in a battle, or somebody would come alongside and help him. God was always watching over him and protecting him. He was keeping him from falling. He was protecting him. God was with him as he walked. He understood that God was there to prop him up. So David had all of these different ways to combat his fears. He would take the matters into his own hands, and he would just face his fears by relying on his confidence in God, remembering what God had done for him, with the expectation that God would deal with his enemies, that God would come through because he had in the past. So these are all things that we can do for ourselves. Now, fear, the problems with fear, it can cause us to be kind of paralyzed to where we can't move forward. We can't do the things that are good for us. Fear prevents us from taking chances or risks. Some of the time it just makes us kind of get stuck in the place where we can't function or move on anymore. Fear causes us just focus on ourselves. When we're fearful, we're worried about ourselves and protecting ourselves. And how am I going to get out of this situation? Or what am I going to do about this? That happens to me a lot when I think about something that's bothering me or that I worry about. Maybe I start complaining about it, or I get anxious, or just like I was saying, I wonder, how can I get out of this in my own strength? Or what am I going to do to fix this problem? Some of the time I forget myself not to turn to God at first. But David's response was, I'm in this situation. It's difficult. It's not looking good. I'm afraid. And we are all in that spot where we can be afraid. But David remembers God. And he says that, whenever I am afraid, so he's afraid, I will trust in you. And so if we follow this pattern that David set for us, what's going to happen to us as we trust God more and more like David did? Our faith is going to grow, and it's going to grow stronger. And what happens when we have more faith? When our faith becomes greater and stronger than the fear that we are feeling, which is real and something we have to deal with. As faith increases, then fear can kind of dissipate. It can become less and less to the point where it doesn't have control over us. And instead of us worrying about our fears and our troubles and our problems and the things we can't fix on ourselves, our focus gets on God. And when we get our focus on God and off of ourselves, wow, then amazing things can happen. And though the fear might go away for a while, it's possible it can come back. We have our ups and downs, but in the overall scheme of things, if we just really have that confidence, that faith and trust in God, we know he's going to come through, because he says, do not fear. I'm going to be with you. I want to bless you. I want to do great things for you. So I don't know if you're feeling fearful today, or if there's something that's worrying you or bothering you, but maybe you can take some of those steps. Maybe the best thing you do is, like we were just reading, go read Psalm 56 and see how David dealt with his fears. He said, whenever I fear, and then he gave us these things that he would do. And I think if you practically took some of those things and applied them to your situation, you might have the confidence and the trust in the Lord too, that he wants you to have. And that in turn would help you to overcome whatever is causing you to be fearful. So that's something I'm going to try to figure out some ways to apply that to my life in the future. Again, my first reaction some of the time to troubles is to become fearful and worried. But rather than do that, I just have to change and make my first habit is, Lord, I don't know how this is going to work out, but I'm going to trust in you. I'm going to turn to you first before I let all these things get me down or get me worried or upset. I think that's really the key thing, that we learn and start to put that into practice, that we go to the Lord very, very first, rather than, I know some of the time that's like our last resort. Oh, I can't fix this. I can't do anything about this. This is just overwhelming. I guess I'll call on God to help me out. But no, we got to turn that around to where our first response is to seek God's help. I think he wants to help us. So I want you to know that today, that God wants to help you too. All right, that is it for our good news segment, and then our fun time together today. I think it was kind of a boring game, but we did some die cutting. We learned some fun facts about ties. I guess there were some interesting things. Remember, don't pull on somebody's tie. That could get you into a lot of problems. And I think that's it. But I want you to remember that don't be fearful. That's the key takeaway today. Number two, don't let things in life just hold you back, right? Don't get frozen by fear. You got to let those things go, and you got to trust in God. I think that will benefit all of us. What else? Later this week, we'll have Crafting Corner and Black Friday on Sunday. I'll be back next week for Take Two Tuesday. Thanksgiving week is next week, so hope you guys are all getting ready for big Thanksgiving plans. But we got a lot going on, so we should have a fun week. And for now, have a great Tuesday. Thanks again for joining me today on Take Two Tuesday. I will see you next week, and have a fun, awesome day. Thanks for joining me, and see you on Crafting Corner or Black Friday this Sunday. All right. Bye now.